All right, peace and blessings, all praises to the Most High. And in the category of we can't make this up if we tried, a North Carolina man in Troy, North Carolina was arrested, thrown to the ground just for beeping his horn at a cop who was stopped at a light in front of him when the light turned green and the cop didn't go on. That's right. This man, Matthew Edwards, who you're going to see, tells about the harrowing experience of beeping your horn while black. Just check this out.
Only on 13, a man from Troy speaks for the very first time after filing a lawsuit against the Troy Police Department and the city of Troy over an incident that began with him beeping his car horn.
I'm an African American in America. This is not the first time I've seen it on TV. It's not the first time I've been pulled over for no reason. This is what happens in America.
The perspective through the eyes of an injured and traumatized man. Dan Levy spoke with Matthew Edwards. He's also obtained body cam video of the violent incident involving the police here. Dan joins us live from Troy with the story you're seeing first on 13. Dan, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Mark. It was 1 year ago this week when Matt Edwards was driving home after a long work day. He had been working for 14 hours that day, and he was looking forward to relaxing at home. But instead, because of what happened at this intersection, 3rd and Madison in Troy, his entire world changed that night. It was the evening of July 19th, 2024. Matt Edwards had just finished a long day at work. He was almost home. He was second in line at a traffic light, but when the light turned green, the car ahead of him didn't budge, so he beeped his horn. Turns out the guy in that car was a Troy cop.
Gave him a little toot, just to let him know that the light was green. He gave me this look out the side of his side mirror. I knew right then that there was a situation that was about to happen.
A situation that began seemingly as an innocuous incident turned into a violent encounter with police and is now a federal lawsuit.
In my mind, the question has always been not what, but why. You know, we know what happened. We don't know why.
This is harassment. It's not harassment.
What we do know is that Matt Edwards did arrive home a few minutes after the horn beep. When he got out of his car to wheel trash barrels in from the street, that's when Troy police officer Taylor Gamache showed up. He got out of his car with his body cam turned on.
I got very nervous and scared when I seen him follow me through the back alleyway. I've seen a lot of things on videos about things that happen to people with cops in the back of an alleyway. So at that point, I was very nervous.
As it turned out, Matt's gut feeling was correct. After police backup arrived, he was tackled to the ground and handcuffed, charged with illegal horn tooting, parking too far from the curb while he brought in his trash barrels, and resisting arrest.
It got very physical. I had my hands up, didn't know why this altercation was happening. I asked all the cops that was on the scene, what was the issue, what was the crime, what did I do wrong? They all didn't have an answer for me. Instead, they just decided to throw me against the wall, give me the injuries that I'm sustaining right now. And I just didn't know why.
Well, Matt Edwards has undergone 2 surgeries on his injured right wrist. He is a welder. He tells me he is unable to do that work because of the injury. Troy police officer Taylor Gamache remains on active duty. Now, because there is pending litigation, city officials are not able to comment on this case. So does Mr. Edwards think this was racially motivated? His answer to that and more on this story coming up all new at 5 o'clock. We're live in Troy with coverage you can trust. Dan Levy, News Channel 13. Mark and Sabrina, back to you.
Dan, with that.
All right, I'm going to stop sharing there. There's a few more videos about that situation. You can look it up, Matthew Edwards in Troy, North Carolina. And I can't help but to answer that white lawyer's question. We know what happened, but why did it happen? To answer your question, because there are white officers in North Carolina and around the nation that take a personal challenge for anyone, especially black men, you know, giving them some sort of direction, looking them in the eye even, beeping at them at a light when they are not paying attention and the light is turned green. You heard the guy say, hey, I just gave him a little toot. Deep doot, you know how we do. You know what I'm saying? He didn't lay on the horn. Gave him a little toot, doot, doot. And then he said he saw the police officer look through his rearview mirror, and then that is when he knew he had a situation. Now, that police officer followed him all the way home, waited till he got out of his car, called for backup. Why would he call for backup? Now, this is something I want to address because I just talked with a white man from Chicago, and he was talking about the William McNeil video and the black lady video that got slammed in the head, slammed on the car head first. And his question was, well, why don't they always just comply? Why don't they comply? Okay, well, what is the issue with these cops? This man committed nothing wrong. He didn't commit a crime, yet he was outside of his home taking out trash, bringing in trash barrels, and they're going to come up on him, harass him, charge him. He's asking them, what did I do wrong? They throw him to the ground, injure him, and arrest him for something called illegal tooting. Illegal tooting. Now, can you justify this? Sir, I hope you're watching this and you have my number. Call me back. I wish I could play that conversation. But he was also charged with parking too far from a curb while taking his trash cans in. And then, of course, the main charge they always hit you with is resisting arrest. What am I being arrested for? Am I being arrested for illegal tooting? And you hear this man has several injuries. He's a welder who's had to have surgery on his wrist, making him unable to provide for himself, to provide, the life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness that we are all entitled to in this great country. All because he honked the horn at an overzealous police officer. And this officer still remains on the force. He's still getting paid, and he's probably still going around terrorizing people in the black community. And this in the wake of the William McNeil incident, in the wake of the Andre Hardaway incident, in the wake of the Otho Wallace incident, in the wake of any other incident that you can name that's been highlighted on this channel, and those that are in the queue to be highlighted. What is the reasoning for this officer? Because as I spoke with the white gentleman on the phone, he was like, well, only thing you have to do is comply. If you comply, these things wouldn't happen. So how do you explain this, sir? How do you explain this? This man, now this happened July of last year. So we're going into a year. This man has filed a federal lawsuit. Evidently, probably the body cam had just been released, so we're now able to see it in real time. But this is an example of outright terrorization, occupation of the black community, where this man is just going home. You see him in his uniform, hot and sweaty. He's ready to go home, kick his feet up, get a cold glass of iced tea, make him a sandwich or two, kick back and get ready for work the next day. When this officer takes it upon himself to follow him home, he committed no crime. He beat the horn, and now you are in your feelings. I had a nephew talking about how he was riding through Johnston County, KKK land, North Carolina, just this past week, and he got stopped, and he said the officer said he was speeding, and he was like, a lot of people were passing him. And he said the officer was sitting on the road. And he said he just came out behind him. When he stopped him for speeding, he had his gun drawn, show me your hands, all that type of stuff. And this is a college graduate student with a, corporate job coming home for a party. And I asked him one question. I said, okay, did you look at him when you passed? He said, yeah. I turned around and said, that was your mistake right there. When you look at them in the eye as a black man, that is a clear challenge. And they want to see, okay, who are you to look me in the eye? We're supposed to walk around in the 60s with police and, keep our heads down. But, when they encounter a very confident, strong, self-aware black man who is normally looking at. I've learned that I've had that lesson. Officer Powers, right here in North Carolina. If you're watching this, you remember. I remember I was driving, and I was coming home from Virginia. I had my real estate tags on the car. You know how you put your signs and your advertisement. And this is the officer who got me my first felony. He got me my first felony, and I had went through like 3 months of hearings for the Virginia Real Estate Board to give me my license because of that felony. And I'm going home. I'm going to see my dad as he's delivering mail. He's in a black area. And I pass this Officer Powers, and I look him in the face. And as soon as I look him in the face, he turns around, pulls me, yanks me out of the car, puts me in handcuffs. Officer Powers, I hope you're watching this. If anybody knows Officer Powers, please share this to him. Put me in handcuffs, ran my license. My dad's driving down the street, doing the mail. He stops, say, "What you got him in handcuffs for?" All because I looked him in the eye. And now I was a successful real estate agent after he tried to ruin my life as an 18-year-old kid. So for people who are police enthusiasts, like I was telling this man, you have totally different experiences with police than I do. So when, just like that man said, when soon as he saw the police, he knew it wasn't going to be good. White people don't have that problem. Like I explained to the man, I said, when you get stopped, they're coming up to your car. Hey, sorry I pulled you over, but you didn't come to a complete stop. When they come to my car, it's, hey, give me license and registration. What you pulled me over? License and registration. Don't let me ask you no more. Matter of fact, get out of the car. You got any drugs, any guns? That is my experience with police. So this is once again an example of, like I said, beeping while black, not even driving, beeping while black. And this is just total. This is the total farce. This shows the complete ineptitude of the police in the United States and also their vitriol for black men in the community. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this video in the comments. Shout out to my brother Matthew Edwards for standing strong, and I hope he gets all the compensatory justice, because we know we don't get any judicial justice. Compensatory justice that is due to him. But y'all see the number 919-587-7782. Thank y'all for watching, liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. Most of all, peace and blessings.